Alright, so in this video we're going to cover a case study for this company called Heatwave Air Conditioning and Heating. And essentially they're an HVAC company out in Tucson, primarily working with residential slash homeowners to repair their heating and cooling units. So we originally started working with this company back in December of 2019, so just under a year ago, and they were getting basically no users a month. They were getting maybe 4 or 5. I think when we first started working with them, they were getting about 10 or 11 around this time visits every single month to their business. And now at around November next year, they receive about 875. I'm not even going to do the math, but you can immediately tell difference between 10 people and 875 people a month visiting them. Pretty big number, right? And in some parts of the year, they were close to about 1,000 visits organically from Google. Now, they were ranking for maybe about 30 or so keywords, what you can see down here, and now they're ranking for about 1,200 keywords. So what's the process, and what did we do exactly to get these results? Well, first of all, we were targeting the phrase emergency AC repair Tucson. And you can see that they're ranked in the Google Maps section, and they're also ranked in the organic as well. So this is where they got a lot of their phone calls from. Now, if you look up furnace repair Tucson, you'll also see that they appear over here on the side, and they appear over here in the organic search as well. So we're able to help them a lot when it comes to getting these types of repairs and these types of service jobs. And so how do we do this? Well, the first thing that we did was we researched both for keywords and competitors. So we wanted to figure out, okay, well, how many homeowners are searching for things like emergency AC repair in Tucson, and who are the competitors? So what we did was we looked for HVAC companies out in the Tucson area, and we found basically that the following are pretty big competitors. Hamstra Heating and Cooling, Hamstra Heating and Cooling right here out in Arizona, and Right Way Air Conditioning as well. These two sites, or these two companies, are very big, and they're spending a lot of money on their marketing. And I remember our client was actually telling us specifically that Hamstra spends a lot of money on advertising, and they're the ones that really stand out in their market. And so what we did was we looked at, well, how many pages do they have, how many words do they have per page, how many backlinks do they have, and stuff like that. So we have pretty much we dissected their site, and we also wanted to figure out, obviously, well, how often are certain phrases being searched. So if we look at, for instance, something like Keyword Planner, right? We use other tools, of course, for more in-depth research, but basically we can do in a simple type of emergency AC repair Tucson, furnace repair Tucson. This is after we asked the business, hey, what services are you providing and for whom? And you can see that 10 to 100 people a month, every single month, are searching for emergency AC repair and furnace repair in the Tucson area. Now, this doesn't include different variations like furnace repair in Tucson, Tucson furnace repair, etc. This is just one example of the phrase. And so we started targeting these types of keywords. And what we did after that, step 2, was to redesign the website. Okay, we wanted to redo everything on the site. We wanted to pretty much revamp it because it was originally just one page, so it wasn't even ranking for anything, so there was no harm in doing that. We redesigned the entire page. We did redesign and added a bunch of new pages. You can see we added things for their maintenance plan. We added things for their replacement plan. All of this stuff. We wanted to make sure that our customer had everything that they needed in order to rank and in order to target various keywords. So after this was completed, after we redid the site, we set up some content and we did some tracking. Now, admittedly, there will be a little bit of an issue over here. This is something I need to deal with, but basically, some of the images over here are kind of cropped funny because we did some changes to the design. But basically, we created a bunch of content, and now this is not even all the content we've created. If you want to take a quick little snippet or a sneak peek, you want to basically, if you want to take a look at how many blogs or how many articles we've written, this might take a little bit of time to load, but you can see we went from basically a website that had one page to 56 pages so far, and you can see that we've written a lot of different articles. We wrote a bunch of different articles for this client, and you'll see one of the phrases that we actually started to really do well with was evaporator coil leak repair and evaporator coil leak. So if you look up evaporator coil leak, you'll see that this customer, or not on this customer, this company heatwaveair.com appears on the first page and towards the top of that result. And this is what we were able to utilize, and what we were able to capitalize on was things like this related to the AC industry. So this way they could rank for things like emergency AC repair and stuff like that. So they were able to not only get local traffic, but also like national traffic from other people that had questions about, evaporator coil leaks and stuff like that. So after that was done, we set up some tracking. So now you can take a look at their traffic in a little bit more in depth, and you can see over the last 12 months, that's a noticeable increase. The blue indicates different clicks and new users, right? So you can see that this is just pretty different from down here when we first started working with them. So we set up the proper tracking, we built some content, and then after that we wanted to go into the audit. Auditing is basically when we take an inventory of everything on the site and we want to make sure that there are no major issues. So over here, for instance, we'll take a look at the site and we'll see, okay, well, there's a lot of pages that have, you don't have to worry too much about the technicalities of each, but, duplicate pages without content or canonicals, right? And you can see that these are red flags over here, so it's something to take a look at. And what we did was, after the first couple of months, we wanted to take a look at the site because, we added new pages, we did all of that. And so it's important to take an inventory of every item that's in the site and make sure that it's good to go. And we'll fix, obviously, whichever ones are, standing out as red flags. Then after that, we built citations and links. So essentially, what we'll do is we'll place an order from some of our vendors for citations, and now a citation is just a mentioning of the name of the business, address, and phone number. And basically this is going to show or help Google Maps. This is going to help Google understand what your business is about and that it's relevant to a specific location, ultimately giving you a boost in the Google Maps. So that's the next thing that we did, and as well as building some links. So if you look at, for instance, if we go over back to their site or their site overview on this tool, you will see over here, overview, you'll see that they have backlinks over here, 1,600 backlinks. So we were basically just getting, buying and building different links. Sometimes we'll buy some in bulk. Sometimes we'll actually go out and build some links on different sites, depending on what is required in that that's allotted amount of time, whether it's in a given month or a given quarter or whatnot. We decide, okay, well, how many links are we going to build and how many links are we going to buy? Then after doing that, we pretty much just do continuous research. So we'll look for, answer the public. We'll do something like heat pump, for instance. We'll look up what heat pump is, or not what heat pump is, but what phrases are relevant for heat pump in this given area. And if it will load, it basically will spew out a whole lot of questions that people have about heat pumps. And you can also use a tool like alsoask.com, and let's just see heat pump, change this to the United States, search, and you'll see again a lot of questions here. Are heat pump dryers vented? Can heat pump heat water? Right? Can heat pump dryers catch fire? We want to make sure that we're answering questions that homeowners are having about heat pumps. So is a heat pump a good investment, right? We might make an article on this, and so on and so forth. And so the idea is, we want to continue this cycle of building links. We want to continue this cycle of building content and tracking what we're doing. So with that being said, I hope that this video makes sense, and I hope that you learn a little bit about how we were able to rank this particular business for different phrases and increase their traffic and visibility. So with that being said, if you have any questions, particularly about SEO, feel more than free to leave a comment or reach out to us at 917-747-4234, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions personally. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day and take care.